On this week's show, we start in New York with the 2015 United Nations Summit for Sustainable Development. You'll discover a new species of crab which carries the Grimaldi name. And we meet Monaco's bravest women who will shortly be taking part in the Raid Amazon. Prince Albert II recently travelled to New York for the 2015 United Nations Summit for Sustainable Development, and it was a historic moment as the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development was drawn up at the event. Over 150 heads of states and governments were there for this highly important meeting. The objectives for the millennium were also discussed. During the last 15 years, thanks to this programme, over 1 billion people have been able to rise above the poverty line, and today 90% of the world's population have access to clean water. But there are still many challenges ahead. A new agenda has been defined, and the Principality announced some strong measures to ensure they reach goals that have been set.
On a des objectifs qui sont, je pense, les plus réalistes possibles, qui vont être difficiles.
We have goals which I think are as realistic as possible. They are going to be hard to reach, but I believe we cannot not have strong goals, such as the big reduction in our greenhouse gas emissions before 2050 and beyond, of course. I think that even for small nations it's important to show that we are making these efforts, and that we make these efforts whilst being as pragmatic and realistic as possible. I hope that we can serve as an example for other countries who are still hesitating to set such goals for themselves.
Peut-être servir d'exemple à d'autres pays qui hésitaient encore à se fixer de tels objectifs.
All eyes are on the COP21 due to take place in Paris in December, with the hope that a universal and compelling agreement to reduce climate change will be achieved. The National Museum of Natural History has around 10 different sites in Paris, the Île-de-France and the neighbouring region, but the historic heart is at the Jardin des Plantes in the 5th arrondissement. Every year, millions of visitors come for a stroll, a bit of fun, and to discover nature's secrets. Whilst it has a rich past, the Museum of Natural History also has an eye on the future, with, for example, the naturalist expeditions called Revisited Planet. Launched in 2006, the Prince Albert II of Monaco Foundation has been supporting these programmes since 2009, starting with the ones in Mozambique and Madagascar, and then the one in Papua New Guinea in 2012. Prince Albert II's visit to the Jardin des Plantes is just another reminder of how good the relations are between the museum and the Principality. He visited the Cabinet d'Histoire, where an exhibition dedicated to crabs is currently being held. It was not a chance visit though, as it is here that the Actae Grimaldi crab was unveiled after being discovered in Madang in Papua New Guinea. It was named Grimaldi to pay tribute to Prince Albert II and has now been added to the other 7,000 species of crabs. The Actae Grimaldi is a rather small and very rare reef species, with only 5 specimens discovered during the Revisited Planet mission in 2012. Joanna, Sandrine and Marie-Pierre are about to embark on a very special adventure. They are about to take part in the next Raid Amazon, which is being held this month in Bali. The participants get to experience trail running, canoeing, archery, orientation races and a chance to meet the locals. Every lunchtime we try to meet up to do some trail running, and we also have our archery lessons in the evening. We've stopped now, but during summer we were training in the canoe every week. The team has now started their big race, and just like all the others, Team Monte Carlo SBM support a charity. They have chosen Children and Future. We end with some music as the Place du Casino was once again transformed into a giant concert hall for one night only. After Mika, it was the turn of Murray Head to entertain the audience of 2,500 for the night for the last concert of the summer season. Time to go. See you next week.